Boy, just once I wish you'd be ready on time.
Boy, just once I wish you wouldn't be 5 minutes early.
You all set, Vern?
Hey, will you drop me off at the gym, Wes?
Doesn't anybody care about it being 15 degrees above zero out here?
Close the door.
I told Richie to get there early so we could shoot some fouls before practice starts.
Drip dry. The dogs are sticking to the sidewalks.
What?
Thornton Wilder.
Come on, Vern.
Here's the ball, now where's the pump?
Medicine chest. Now, will you hurry up, Howie? What are you doing now, Vern?
I reckon I'll change my shirt.
Oh, look, you guys, I promised Irene we'd be there at 9 o'clock sharp.
9 o'clock sharp. Hey, I just realized something.
What's that?
I, Thomas DeWitt, lover of truth, beauty, and sleep, have dragged my unhealthy frame out of the sack at the crack of dawn on Saturday morning, thereby shattering an unbroken string of 37 consecutive late sleeping Saturdays.
And Sundays and Mondays and Tuesdays.
Yeah. Just to be a guinea pig for a bunch of cruddy aptitude tests as a favor to your girlfriend. Thanks. I ought to have my head examined.
That's what the tests are for.
You know, most guys as small as me wouldn't even go out for basketball.
It's inhuman, that's what it is. Transistorized, pasteurized, sanitized test.
But I figure I'm fast and I can jump pretty high.
Yeah, if I'm gonna get the Socrates paper finished by Tuesday, I'd better get going on it.
Well, I'm learning to jump pretty high anyway.
Us guinea pigs ought to get ourselves a union. Protect our rights.
Come on, Howie.
The International Brotherhood of Guinea Pigs. How's that sound?
Get the light out, Vern. We'll wait for you to shoot.
You see, Howie,
What?
once upon a time...
What?
Once upon a time, us guinea pigs were allowed to find our own place in life. But it wasn't very orderly. A few little guinea pigs ended up in the wrong nests. Of course, in those days, the poor stupid things didn't know enough to be unhappy about it.
Look, Howie, I may not be able to pick you up, so,
That's okay, I'll get a ride with Richie.
But Big Daddy doesn't let that happen anymore. He makes us take about 1 million aptitude tests to make sure we all end up in the right niche. Only trouble is now, us guinea pigs know so much about ourselves that we're all maladjusted.
I suppose you think it's being well-adjusted when you don't know what you're going to do with your life.
Well, it's better than being told by some electronic machine that I have a latent talent for hanging wallpaper.
Yeah? Well, maybe you're afraid of what those tests might show.
Man cannot be measured by mechanical means. Hey, as Gorky said...
Hey, Wes, if you're not going to school, you might as well be putting in time over here.
Oh, my gosh, it's 9 o'clock already. We're leaving right now, Mr. Stotts. Hurry. Come on, Vern!
Just think of all the worthwhile things we could be doing this morning. Like scrubbing the decks, or overhauling the engine, or painting the dock, or...
listen, a lot of people pay good money to take these tests to find what career to go into.
Okay, Macaulay. Then why are you taking them? You've known what you were going to do ever since you graduated from short pants.
Well, I'm helping Irene.
Pass her course in grumbling and grievances, and so am I.
Guidance and counseling.
Well, whatever the heck she calls it. So, you go ahead and be a lawyer, and I'll be a man of the world, or a plumber's apprentice, or whatever the heck interests me, and maybe old Vern will get some good out of the test.
Come on, fella, get the lead out. We're 10 minutes late already. Howie! Where are you going now?
I gotta make sure Mr. Dobson doesn't need me this morning.
Mr. Dobson said you could have the morning off.
Well, I wanted to get some aspirin. I think I might have a headache.
Oh, darn sakes, Vern, you're not going to the dentist. You're just going to take a few simple tests. Now, come on.
Yeah, guys have changed their whole careers because of what they found out. Been darn glad of it, too. Right, Wesley?
Yeah, lots of them. Besides, Irene has to give the test to at least 3 people, and you promised her you'd do it.
Come on, Macaulay. If he's afraid of a few cruddy questions, leave him behind.
I ain't scared of any darn questions.
Well, what is it, then? The results are confidential.
Leave him alone, Macaulay. If he wants to stay ignorant for the rest of his life, let him.
Now, you listen here, boy. Just because I don't use a lot of fancy words doesn't mean I'm ignorant.
Okay, I'm sorry. Now, get in.
You just better watch out. Someday I'll show you who's ignorant and who isn't.
Right, probably this morning.
Kind of changed your tune there, didn't you, buddy?
Are you kidding? This backwoods guinea pig will serve Irene right. Hey, Wes! Wes, wait a minute!
Oh, stop.
Hey, Picasso. Primitive period.
A7, G9, A3.
Bingo!
Now you take places at this table, please.
Yes, teacher.
Are we gonna do any more of these little puzzles?
You completed your manual dexterity test.
That was kind of fun.
So was kindergarten.
Not so much for you, buddy?
Just wait, buddy. It's the power to reason that differentiates man from beast.
Now, this is a vocational preference test. I think. Yes, half the dude comes later.
If at all.
Now, please follow these Vern, please follow these directions with me. Now, under each number, a group of 3 activities is listed. Now, you decide which of the 3 activities you would like to do most. Oh. And,
What's this for?
well, you punch a hole in the column to the left of the one you'd like most and to the right of the one you like least.
On guard. Ow.
Here's an example. Would you rather A, go to an antique auction, B, go to a zoo, or C, go to a concert?
When?
It doesn't make any difference when.
Well, it appears to me it would, like if it was in the summer.
Come on, Vern, let's go.
No, now let's be sure it's clear. Now, which one did you punch for like most, Vern?
Huh?
Which of the 3 activities would you prefer?
Well, what if you like something about equal?
Or dislike some unequal.
You still have to make a choice. What about you, Wes? Which one did you punch for like most?
Zoo.
Judge a man by the company he keeps.
Now listen, DeWitt.
And which least?
Concerts.
But I thought you liked concerts. At least that's what
What kind of concerts do they mean?
Don't you know how to beat these tests, buddy?
Tom, that's not the idea.
Treat them like you do women.
Of course, if it was a Fable Zoo.
Figure out what they want to hear and tell them that.
Well, it's not quite that simple.
Professor Collins, you know everybody?
Wes?
Professor?
This is Vern Hodges
Vern?
Glad to meet you, sir.
and Tom DeWitt.
Sit down, fellas. Yes, DeWitt and I are old friends.
Yeah. Cultural anthropology. First 3 days.
You're right to a certain extent, DeWitt. Sometimes a clever guesser will try to influence the test results. But there are built-in controls to compensate.
Yeah, but you can spot those things a mile away.
Well, not necessarily. For example, how would you answer this question if it ever came up in a test? Do you ever say anything about your friends behind their backs that you would be unwilling to say to their faces?
No. No.
Oh, see, that's what I mean. The test figures that over 50% no answers on this kind of a question is a pretty sure sign of dishonesty. Everything going okay, Irene?
Yes, sir, just fine.
I'll check with you later. I'm glad to see you taking these tests, DeWitt. Your results should be quite interesting.
Boy, talk about 1984. It's getting tougher to beat Big Brother all the time.
Oh, should I guess? How many more tests are there?
Just these.
Oh.
Is it okay if we start now?
There you are. How's the handsome sophomore in Cordella College?
Hi, Irene.
I want to thank you fellas for helping me out Saturday. Professor Collins gave me an A- on my test project. Pretty good, huh?
I gave Vernon and Tom their results this morning, but I haven't been able to find you. I stuck them in your locker. Did you get them?
Yeah.
I want to explain that. them to you when you brought over your Socrates paper for me to type, but you never showed up.
Wasn't finished.
Why don't you do this afternoon?
I won't make it. I can't even find the right Plato dialogue.
That shouldn't be so difficult.
It's for me.
P-E-P-I-L-P-L-A. Try the apology.
The Java translator.
Karen. Maybe we're making a mistake. I mean, maybe I am. Puttering around here at my age, working twice as hard for grades as these kids and getting nowhere fast. Putting us off in an indefinite future, and I should be out getting started in some good business.
Apology, only 1P.
Maybe I could transfer to some business school and go at night. Finish in a couple of years, and probably get a good paying job, and then we could get married.
What about law school? All the work and planning that's gone into that.
Why waste any more years?
Here it is, 184 P71-31JO.
184 P71-31JO.
It's pretty sudden, isn't it?
No, not really.
I see. What brought all this on?
Well, I don't know. I just can't see working this hard for the next 7 or 8 years. Being a slave to a time schedule and beating my head against a wall. There isn't any P31.
P71-31JO.
Crummy numbering system.
You aren't worried about those test results, are you?
No, why should I be?
I don't know. Well, is it some class or
What the heck was that number?
P71-31JO?
I can't even make it through a upper division course in political thought. It's out.
Here it is. You can't give up a whole career just because you're having a little trouble with one course.
I'm not giving up. I'm just trying to figure out what's best for both of us.
Well, when you find out, let me know. Don't you think we better get at this book?
I don't have time. I'm supposed to be at the station right now so Mr. Stott can go to lunch.
Yes.
Profile chart self-appraisal program of guidance. What the heck's this?
That, my young friend, is a machine-made portrait of Thomas A. DeWitt.
Gee, it looks kind of like the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah. Oh, Wesley's probably looks like the Great Plains. Look. See this 16 on mechanical interest?
Yeah.
Corresponds neatly with this low score in manual dexterity. Pretty good, huh?
Gee, that doesn't look so good to me.
Sure it is. Proves I'd be a big fat flop in my dad's nuts and bolts business, which I think he suspected for some time.
Hey, how about these?
Right. See how my aptitudes in verbal, reasoning, and memory correspond to my literary, persuasive, and social service interests?
What's that mean?
Well, it means I could be a writer. Fyodor Dostoevsky DeWitt. Or a persuader, Demosthenes DeWitt. Or a social worker, Albert Schweitzer DeWitt. Or better still, I could be a writer who persuades people to live up to their social responsibilities. Dale Carnegie, DeWitt. I think I'm interested in too darn many things. Maybe I'll be a diplomat. I give my left elbow to know how old Vern made out.
Hey, is this his?
Yeah, hey, where'd you get it?
He left it on his bunk.
Wow, look at this. High on dexterity, way up on spatial, and holy
That doesn't belong to you.
We were just... Well, you're full of little surprises.
Put this in the refrigerator, Howie. I gotta go back to work.
You did darn well.
I did?
Yeah. Hey, good deal, chicken.
That's for tomorrow. I'm cooking tonight.
Ham hocks and beans again.
In fact, you scored so high in some areas, it's hard to believe you're so low in others.
Look, I may be ignorant, I may not go to college, but I don't go around making fun of people.
Now, hey, wait a minute, Vern, I didn't. Vern, will you wait a minute? You Claude, I wasn't making fun of you. Please listen to me. I don't think you know how good you did on the test. Just let me show you the paper. Look, give me the paper, will you? Come on.
If they got him uptown, that's where you should have gone to get him. And your gas, too. Doggone picayune people asking me if we give away free balloons for the kiddies.
Freeloaders. Expect you to wait on them hand and foot, and they don't even buy any gas.
Oh, they did buy some gas.
I wouldn't blame you if you told them all where to go.
Well, what's the matter? Is the grease rack on the blink again?
Well, when isn't it? Pete's sake, just for once, I wish you'd get a piece of modern equipment in here, like an air wrench.
That's right. Ring your fool head off. Oh, boy, one of these days.
Sometimes I'd like to tear it out by the roots and throw the whole darn thing right in the river.
Well, we got to have a phone.
All the gas stations in this crummy one-horse town, I gotta work in a museum full of antiques. No tire tools and no grease rack, no battery tester. Too quick, Wes.
Hey, Wes!
Okay, I'm coming. Mrs. Davis?
Hello, Wes. I don't know what it is. Heaven knows the car's practically brand new, but I keep hearing all sorts of funny noises.
What kind of noises?
Well, now I know this seems perfectly silly, but it's sort of a put-put-put sound.
Well, it could be the carburetor. Would you pull the hood lights, please?
And then, sometimes there's a sort of a ping.
When was the last time you had a lube job? Greased.
Oh, I don't really remember.
Well, that'd help for a start.
Well, will this take very long?
I can't do it right now. Grease rack isn't working, and even if it was, I wouldn't have time.
Oh, dear. Well, couldn't you sort of fix it?
Look, if you have to have it done today, you better take it someplace else. I'll probably be too busy tomorrow, too.
What?
Afternoon, Miss Davis. Do you have a problem?
Well, apparently I need a lube job, and Wes says he can't do it.
Look, Mr. Stott, I can't keep jumping from one stupid job to another. Now, do you want me to fix this tire for you or not? I've got a 3:30 class, you know, and it's almost that now.
I guess you better go ahead and clean that up first.
My goodness.
Now, don't you worry, Mrs. Davis. We'll take care of you.
Something bothering Wes.
Just leave your car here for a couple of hours, and Wes will fix it.
Huh.
Well, I was going to spend some time this afternoon with old Mrs. Ferguson. You remember her?
Oh, yes,
She lives
yes.
up the block back of Griffith's Furniture.
Yes.
I was going to ask her about her niece, Sally. Do you remember Sally?
Oh, yes.
Sally Taft?
Yes.
I hope Wes is going to be all right.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Davis, if Wes was a little short with you, but I'm sure he didn't mean anything by it.
Of course not. Probably just me. I'm always putting my big foot in it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, Miss Davis.
I'll be back a little after 4.
Yes, ma'am. Goodbye, Miss Davis. Thank you, ma'am. Goodbye.
Hey, Wes, you got time to help me with my hook shot?
No.
You listen to me, Mr. Grumpy Macauley.
What?
Are you trying to ruin our business? That fool woman is a town crier. You know that. You want her telling it all over town that we insult our customers?
I thought that was our policy.
Look here. All right, I'll fix the pickup tire. Do you think you'll have time after your class to take care of...
I don't know. I'll try. I've got my own work to do. Did you ever stop to think about that? I've had that Socrates paper hanging over my head for a week, and it's due right now.
Hey, you forgot your books.
Don't need them.
That fool boy's getting more like DeWitt every day.
Wes?
Isn't he at the station?
Nope. Darn kids. No sense of responsibility. I'm going to supper.
But Mr. Stotter's going to take care of the station.
He'll be here in a minute. I'll be back in 3/4 of an hour.
But Mr. Stotter...
No, I don't think he's been in here since Saturday. Alma Jean, was it Saturday we came out $1 over on the cash register?
No, Mama, that was yesterday. Saturday was the day that Daddy dropped all those eggs.
Wait a minute, Vern, wait a minute. Why don't you want to go to college?
Shoot, I never even finished high
Tom,
school.
where'd that come? Have you seen Wes?
Not for an hour or two. Help me pound some sense into this mule-headed refugee from learning, will you? Get him to take advantage of his natural aptitude. You tell him, Mrs. Dobson. Maybe he'll listen to you. You're the boss of this gifted specimen of Homo sapiens.
Gifted what?
Homo sapiens, Mama.
Hope it's not dangerous.
Look, Vern, what do you do with the diamond in the rough? Or crude oil? Polish and refine it.
Darn it, Tom, I told you to quit talking like that.
He had a high interest in natural and biological sciences, right? Okay, put that with an 84 in spatial and a 79 in reasoning and...
Didn't do too bad on music.
Look, why spend your life twanging away on a beat-up old guitar for nickels and dimes when with the proper training you could be a horticulturist or an organic chemist or even a specialist in aeromedicine?
Oh, gee, did you hear that, Mama?
If he has to take some refresher courses, he has to take them, that's all. Or maybe he could take some special exams. Now look, I know the dean man pretty well.
Listen,
I've been in his office quite a few times. So I'll take Vern in to see him tomorrow and fix it.
Oh, no, you're not taking me anywhere. I don't care what you can fix. Seems like you're always fixing something. I appreciate you folks thinking of me and trying to help. It appears to me a man has to figure out his life for himself and not have anybody or any test do it for him.
Vern's right. You're simply not qualified to evaluate this test. I mean, that takes years of training and experience, and what do you know? Nothing.
Okay. I'll mind my own cruddy business. Look, Vern, I was only trying. Wes back?
Fixed the grease rack, see? Pretty good, huh?
Oh, brother. Hey, hold it. Wait a minute. Do you know where Wes is?
Isn't he here?
Mr. Stott isn't around and the Jeep's gone.
Oh, dear, Mr. Stott went home for supper over half an hour ago. Wes was supposed to be back then. He didn't make it for his 3:30 class, either.
He didn't. He was acting awful funny last night, too.
You think something's happened?
Well, it sure doesn't sound much like old regular Roger to cut class and be a half an hour late for work. Maybe he's over at your house.
I'd better look.
Good idea. If he comes back here, I'll call you. Well done, DeWitt. You saved little Nell from a fate worse than death. Now back to Wesley Wellborn. Strong of heart, but weak of... Oh, no. My gosh, you finished already?
Yep. These little babies can really dig out. Watch her take off.
Blast off.
Well, I suppose you'd call it fuchsia. It's funny you should mention it. It's that new nylon, you know. See?
Well, it's darn pretty. Mrs. Davis.
Oh, here I am wasting your time with that. You probably think I'm the biggest talker in town, and you're right, too. Well, now, I really must get my car.
No. No. I mean, your car isn't quite ready yet.
Oh, dear, but Mr. Stott promised it for 4 o'clock.
I know, but Wes got delayed, and if you could come back in about half an hour...
Oh, dear, well...
Here
Here you are, Mrs. Davis, sound as a dollar.
Well,
Didn't I tell you she was a great little card?
Wes, no more ping and no more putt.
Well, isn't that nice? I hope it wasn't any trouble.
Not at all, Mrs. Davis. It was my pleasure.
Now, how much do I owe you?
Oh, about $1.
Oh, that's very generous. Well, bye-bye, boys. Thanks again.
Bye, Mrs. Davis.
Satisfaction is guaranteed at Stott's Super Service.
Boy, you sure lead a charmed life. Well, come on, buddy. Let's get you into the sack before you donate the whole darn station to someone.
I'm not sleepy. I've got work to do.
Oh, come on, Wes, you can't go to...
Hey, you guys! See how come the Jeep's parked clear up the street?
Here we go again.
Hey, Vern? You know, it's parked up by the...
Howie, what are you doing back so early?
Early? I finished my paper out, and I even had time to go up to Richie's and get some apple pie and ice cream.
How'd you like to go to the movies?
Hey, yeah, great.
You off work now?
When?
Uh-huh.
Good deal. Take this dough.
I can take care of it.
You mean tonight?
Good, thanks. Take off.
Now? On a weeknight? Wes never lets me.
He will tonight. It's a special occasion.
Oh, yeah? What movie is it?
I don't know.
Let's put your bike up, and then we can get a hamburger before the show starts.
Huh?
I gotta check the tanks.
Now, easy, buddy. Let's not let little brother see us like this.
Like what?
Where do you think you're going?
I've got to check the tanks.
You're not going anywhere until I tell you to.
Oh, yes, I am.
I better go get my gloves, Vern.
You don't need them. Come on, I'll race you to the Jeep. Come on.
Wes, you're ruining the place. Come on. Wes, now come on, please. That goes it. They're stuck. Stay right there. Don't move. I'll fix it. Now, don't you move. Hi, Mr. Stott. I've got a proposition for you that'll take care of one of your biggest problems for the whole next summer.
I don't want to hear it.
It won't cost you a darn cent. If I were to mow that big lawn of yours every Tuesday all summer, if you think you could manage not to get too upset about a little accident, I mean, it really wasn't anybody's fault, and I'll clean up the mess so you won't have...
Hey, Wes, be back.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Wes has had a pretty rough day, and I don't think he's feeling too well.
That boy's drunk.
Devilish, dark, and dangerous. Guaranteed to cure or kill. Careful, it's hot. Well, one good thing. At least nobody saw you. Except Mrs. Davis, and I think she liked you better that way.
What time is it?
I don't know. Around 7, I guess. You know, I'll never forget the time I volunteered to clean up after one of those Saturday afternoon so-called tea parties my folks threw every once in a while. When I found out nobody was drinking tea. Heck, I could have been more than a sophomore in high school. Boy, oh boy. By the time I got finished sampling all the leftovers, I was really floating. People said afterwards they could hear me singing a slightly off-colored version of our school football song 4 floors above us. But man, whew, how I hated being me about an hour later. I ended up hanging onto the legs of a table in the middle of the living room floor like some kind of embryo astronaut on a cyclotron. And round and round and round and sick. Boy, I was... Oh, maybe I ought to change the subject, huh? Yeah, right. Can I fix you some dinner? Oh, yeah. Okay, DeWitt. What's your next stupid question? Can I get something for you?
I have to get back to work if I still have a job.
Oh, no. Now, don't worry about that. I've got it all worked out with Ward and stuff.
He's got a lodge meeting tonight.
Right, and as soon as I force down some dinner, I'm going to go over and relieve him. So you just take it easy and try and keep it off. You know, that old turkey buster surprised heck out of me when he didn't bust a gusset over that display case. Some menu. Pork and beans, chili and beans, black bean soup, green beans, applesauce. How'd that get in there? Well, what the heck. They say it's a good thing to release the tensions every once in a while. My Uncle Frank's been releasing his tensions for so long he practically isn't here anymore. I could have sworn we had a can of macaroni here someplace. You know, we ought to work out some kind of better filing system for this stuff.
Try P71-31JO.
What?
Top right, behind.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
I'm sorry, Tom. I'm really sorry.
For what? What's there to be sorry for?
Thanks. I won't forget it.
Are you kidding? Since when does a cup of coffee pay off the national debt? Well, I'll say one thing for you. When you hang one on, you go all the way. Talk about shattering illusions. Daddy Warbucks. Loaded to the gills. Like seeing him belt little orphan Annie. Which might not be a bad idea every once in a while, make her shape up. What brought all this on, Wes? Oh, you don't have to answer that if you don't want to. Well. I better get going. Hey, did I tell you? I darn near had old Vern talked into going back to school. He ended up deciding to take some guitar lessons. That boy's got aptitude to burn. If anything I hate to see go to waste, it's aptitude. Even in me. But that's okay. I'll keep working on them. Yeah. Must have forgotten to add something. Let's see. German mustard, curry powder, ginger, garlic powder. What the heck was it? Piccalilli. Hey, Wes, what number do you file the Piccalilli under? Wes?
You were sick in bed with an upset stomach. I found some wonderful stuff. Doc Barber gave Dad when he had that stomach flu last winter. Dad swears by it, and it's all... Are you all right? Need some help back in the boat? I'll call Tom.
No.
What is it? What's wrong?
Nothing. Except I'm drunk. That's right. I got roaring, falling down drunk in the middle of a Tuesday afternoon. And what's more, I enjoyed it. I just couldn't. I'm sorry, honey. No good lush. Tries to write papers he can't write. Tries to pass courses he can't pass. Tries to be a part-time student and a part-time mechanic and a part-time sweetheart and a part-time father, mother, and brother. Now that's too many parts and not enough time. It's really pretty funny, isn't it? Too many parts and not enough time.
Honey, please.
You want to see something else funny? Forecast of a failure. There's old Pipe Dream Macauley spread all over one lousy sheet of paper. Go on, take a look at it. Go on, take a good look before it's too late! Oh, that's right. You've already seen it. Well, maybe you didn't look carefully enough. Profile of Wes Macauley. Mechanical aptitude, 92nd percentile. Business, 78th percentile. A real good, solid, always in dead grease monkey. Personal social aptitude, subhead law, 49th percentile. Anything below the 50th percentile is indicative of a lower than average aptitude for the professional fields. End of quote. I just don't know, Irene. I don't know. Maybe giving me those tests was the best thing you could have done. It's a heck of a lot better finding out now than 10 years from now. So, if you figure on marrying a lawyer, you'd better go look someplace else. Because about as near as I'll ever get to the bar is hanging over one, passed out cold. And you'll be stuck in a one-room shack with 6 sniveling brats who are dumber than their lower than average old man and doesn't have any money and makes his wife work and has more kids and more kids and more kids.
Stop that kind of talk! Do you hear me? Right now, don't you ever talk to me like that, ever! I love you, Wes Macauley. God. And I love you whether you're a mechanic or a dish digger or even a bum. And whether you come home tired or grouchy. Or yes, even drunk, don't you know that? Just as long as you come home. Honest to Pete, you can make some of the darnest, silliest, stupid mistakes.
Don't you know what you've done? Those tests, they're just arrows. They're guides. Aptitude is an accomplishment. You know, no matter what the percentile, you can be a good lawyer. Even a great one if you want to enough. Because you have the desire. Motivation. Did you read that in your fine print?
Oh.
When I first fell in love with you, Mother, bless her, tried to keep me from putting all of my emotions in one basket. Save some back, honey, she said. Boys of Wes's age just, well, they aren't always ready to fall in love. And they aren't ready to settle down, and they might be left along the way. I can't do that. I have to give you everything. But it's not fun. I'll get something I'll face and worry about when the time comes. I suppose it's simpler for a woman because a man has two loves to satisfy. His woman and his work. And he has to believe in both.
You knew all wet.
It doesn't matter.
Cold?
Are you?
Very warm. Irene? I love you.
This treasure map. Private property of Howard Macauley and Richie Masters. That dumb Marilyn Feeney. The patrol car. I told you.
I can't hold this thing anymore. It's killing me.
Let's beat it. It's killing me.